Hello there, kia ora, and happy Star Wars Day. As a big old nerd, I love me some space rebels versus space Nazis in a fight against space fascism, but while we think of Star Trek as that high-minded utopian future that we can aim for, Star Wars has some lessons for us all as well, especially as we go into an election year where some of the offerings are lining up more to join the Sith than anything else. So here are 10 lessons that we Kiwi voters can actually learn from Star Wars. Like number 1, we can guard against the dark side of fear.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
In politics, fear is often used to divide us. Policies built around fear, like the Coalition's anti-Maori policies, or the anti-migrant rhetoric, or the voter law change to make it harder for young people to vote, they're all in some way based on fear, and what we need are policies based on building a future together. Or number 2, we're watching as democracy dies in silence.
The loss of an objective reality is perhaps the most dangerous.
The death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil.
We've sat back and watched over the last 3 years as the Coalition repeats the same lies over and over, and the election campaign this year is already ramping up to be one built on a throne of lies, as Will Ferrell said. The National Party MPs are already posting content every day that's verifiably false, like claims around ram raid numbers and crime stats, while chastising and punishing media when they step out of line and don't push the lines that the government wants. Or number 3, we should always verify the truth.
Luke, you're going to find that many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view.
In the age of pink slime AI news pages, social media algorithms, and more outright lying from MPs, facts get framed in many ways, and we need to learn how to sift through them to get to the truth so that we can make the right decisions as voters. Alright, number 4, we need to look beyond the Jedi mind tricks.
Mind tricks gonna work on me, only money.
So much money is spent on keeping the status quo. Already this year, we've seen hundreds of thousands poured into the Coalition election campaigns from Trump supporters, oil companies, racing, fisheries, property, and construction magnates. This will pay for the flashiest ads, the slickest social media campaigns, and the biggest impact to keep things as bad as they are, or make them worse for the average Kiwi, while enriching those who donated. We need to see through that. Alright, number 5, we also need to focus on the future, but execute that in the present.
I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see.
Right, every party is going to promise their idea of a better future. If that's better for you, or the mega landlord that owns your house and the corporate conglomerate that owns your paycheck, well, that's up to you to decide which is more important. But if we want that better future, we need to make the decisions in the here and now that lead us there. Knowing that a vote won't fix everything right away, but it does change which direction the ship is steered in. Right, number 6, your votes are your individual power.
I'll tell you this. If I could do it again, I'd wake up early and be fighting these bastards.
It's easy to feel like one person doesn't matter in a sea of millions, but our MMP system, well, that means small margins determine the future of our country. We get to shape not just the direction of the country, but the voices to take it in that direction for us. And honestly, that's an amazing power and responsibility that we should all be really aware of. Alright, number 7, beware of politicians with absolute certainty.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Politics is complex and nuanced, and our media and far-right nutters on Twitter who seem to have a direct line to the media and our coalition MPs often push simplified narratives built around certainty, like demanding people rule in or out working with specific parties, or taking a single line out of context to push an entire narrative view that they want to vilify. So we as voters and audiences need to be really wary of anyone pushing for absolutes in politics all the time. Alright, number 8, with great power comes great responsibility. Wait, that sounds like Spider-Man.
All who gain power are afraid to lose it.
Oh, It fits here too. When we choose who represents us, we need to consider how they handle responsibility. Do they serve the public, or are they more likely to focus on maintaining their own standing? Can you trust an MP who used her position to get her family off animal abuse charges to really represent the rural communities of the country? Or an MP who beat a child with a bed leg to make rules about looking after children? Or a landlord with 7 houses to make laws that make lives easier for tenants? We really do need to make these considerations when we go out and vote. All right, number 9, the work will continue after the election.
You're too late. The rebellion isn't here anymore. It's flown away. It's everywhere now. There's a whole galaxy out there waiting to disgust you.
Casting a vote, that's how change starts, but that's not how change ends. We need to be aware that no matter the outcomes on November 7 or whenever Winston walks away and forces a snap election, we need to hold the new government to account to ensure they deliver. Unlike the current government, who have removed and avoided democratic norms more than any government before them, with most laws passed under urgency and the most laws ever to avoid select committee scrutiny, we need to keep holding on to what democracy is and holding those elected officials to account. And finally, hope is a strategic choice.
Rebellions are built on hope.
I get it. It can feel overwhelming right now. It feels like there's always a tsunami of negative shit happening. Unemployment rates, cost of living, climate change causing the snot to be beaten out of us every couple of weeks, the fuel crisis, attacks on fertility, the disabled, workers, renters, women, education, and our ever-growing and evolving way of life. It is so easy to become cynical. But that's when choosing to vote for something different to what we have now is an act of rebellion against apathy. That's where hope can come from. So while the coalition sit there watching as their dedicated voter base gets worked up over awful policies that punch down, rubbing their hands together going,
Good. I can feel your anger.
the rest of us can make a difference if we remember that hope is like the sun. If you only believe in it when you see it, you'll never make it through the night. So today and every day, may the force be with you always. Oh, hey there, podcast listeners. Thanks for checking out today's podcast, whether that's on video or audio. I really appreciate it. And I did finally get around to doing a podcast end tag, which I've been meaning to do for a while instead of just taking you onto the Facebook version. So while you're here, why not hit that subscribe button so that you can get updates coming in directly every time there's a new episode uploaded. Just seems like a really simple way to keep up to date with all of the crazy that's going on. So yeah, give that a shot and I'll talk to you soon.